Hi everyone, my name is Tracy and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to the video. I hope you enjoy it. So today is going to be another Nature Almanac video, and obviously if you're new to the series that I've been doing on my channel, it's where I read the month's chapter from this book. It's called the Leaping Hare Nature Almanac, your year-long mindful guide to reconnecting with nature. And usually whatever month that we're in, I will read that specific month's section from this book, because this book is divided into seasons and into specific months. And so since this is a January video, I'll be reading January's section from this book, as well as I'll be reading a short little snippet from this book at the end as well. And this is just called Complete Healing and Natural Remedies, a holistic approach to mental health and healing, natural remedies, foods, lifestyle strategies, and therapies. So I actually got these books at the same time alongside each other at Barnes & Noble. This one was on sale. As you can see, I never took the sticker off and I just couldn't help myself, but I initially wanted to get this book, but I felt like they both kind of went hand in hand together, so I wanted to do like a little series on my YouTube channel where I read from both books, although mostly I'll be prioritizing this book. But before we get started, I just wanted to kind of give you a few little life updates here and there, because I know I don't really post on this channel that often. I only post like once a month, sadly, and it's usually because of the series that I've been trying to keep up with. If I'm being honest, if it wasn't for this monthly series that I've been trying to do, I probably wouldn't have been posting at all on my channel, which is pretty sad to admit. I've kind of put this YouTube channel on the back burner for a little bit, but a few life updates is I finalized quitting my 9-to-5 corporate job. Sorry, I just woke up, so my voice is still raspy. So yeah, I finalized, leaving the company and quitting my very secure and stable 9-to-5 corporate job last month in December. So December 8th was my last official day, and to be honest, I didn't really do much. It was mostly just me mailing my work laptop back to them that day, but it was, the last day on paper. So yeah, that was that. I know I keep saying I want to make like a whole separate video on this topic and sort of explain my situation and explain why I decided to do what I did, especially in the climate of the job market and the economy right now. It's really not a smart thing for me to do this, but I knew that I would have gone insane if I tried to just keep at it. And for those of you who don't know, I think I might have mentioned this before, but I'm also a full-time caretaker at home for my family. I have aging grandmas, 2 grandmas that I take care of on both sides, on my mom's side and my dad's side. And I also take care of my parents. I also have a little nephew. So there's a lot of people. That's at least 4 people, 4.5. I mean, I don't really need to worry about my nephew that much because he's very like capable by himself, and obviously like he has his dad, my brother, and also his mom and my parents, his grandparents, to care for him. And I usually just like try to pick him up from school if I can, or like hang out with him whenever I'm available to. But I have 4 people, my aging parents that are workaholics and never take care of their health, and my 2 aging grandmothers who are also, their health is also ailing as they're getting older, and neither of them can drive, neither of them can speak English or understand English. So I'm usually always the one that reads their mail and translates and brings them to all their doctor's appointments and translates, because I also am fluent in Vietnamese. That's actually, my background is I'm Vietnamese, and I make phone calls for them. I set up doctor's appointments for them, pick up their medicine for them, and I do all of that for my parents as well. So that's times 4 that I do all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm a full-blown caretaker for my entire family, as well as I also babysit my brother and his wife's dog sometimes as well, or like I pet sit. But I don't really want to count that because I love their dog. I kind of view him as my dog as well because I grew up with him and I grew up taking care of him, and he's always a joy to have around. So yeah, either way, I'm very much a full-blown, full-time caretaker for pets, kids, adults, all of the above. And so I wanted to make a separate video explaining my situation of leaving my stable corporate job and technically being quote unquote unemployed right now. However, I am doing a lot of other things to keep myself busy. I am attempting and starting volunteer work. So I reached out to my local animal shelter, and I also reached out to 2 other nonprofit organizations in my hometown. I will be starting 2 of those relatively soon. I'm in the process of filling out my applications. I already met with the coordinators of those roles and those organizations, and everything is on track. However, I did get an email back from the animal shelter, but I also haven't really heard anything from them in a while, so I don't know if they really need volunteers right now, unfortunately. So I'm not sure about the animal shelter. I might reach back out to them again soon, further down the line, whenever I have time, just to sort of check in on them if they need any help. But so I reached out to 3 different volunteer organizations, and I'll be at least starting 2 of them relatively soon here. I'll be going through training and hopefully helping a lot of people and making an impact in my community. So I mentioned the animal shelter, but the other 2 organizations, one of them is an English tutor for ESL, ESOL, which is speakers of other languages. And so that would be like me tutoring non-native English speakers, or potentially helping native English speakers learn how to read and write, because statistically there's a lot of people that do not have reading abilities, even if they are fluent in English. Maybe they just couldn't keep up with school and they had to leave school to work to provide for their families, and there's a lot of scenarios that really play into this. So there's this organization that tries to help people learn how to read and write, or helps like immigrants and people who are non-native English speakers to be able to at least learn English and learn how to understand it and hold a conversation, so that they're able to apply for citizenship, or apply for a driver's license, or apply for jobs, or just be able to run their daily errands, like go grocery shopping or reading their mail, stuff like that. So I'm very passionate about that because, again, my whole family are immigrants from Vietnam, and my grandma used to tell me stories about these English volunteers that really helped her and my grandpa at the time when he was still alive to be able to learn English and to be able to pass their American citizenship back in the day. And I'm so beyond grateful that there was such kind-hearted people back then. I think this was back in like the 90s and like the early 2000s and stuff. So I'm very sick of all of the capitalist greed in the world, and I feel like social media doesn't help with that either. So I wanted to join this community and give back in any way. And then the other organization is me working and helping the elderly population, as well as people with certain disabilities, to be able to read their mail and budget their money and their finances and pay their bills on time, for them in order to keep up with their independent living at home lifestyle, so that they don't just get thrusted into like a nursing home or anything like that against their will. So this other organization, the role that I'll be taking on is called a money management volunteer role. So the other one was English tutoring. This one is going to be money management. Obviously, I have a background in like finance and business, and not that this has anything to do with that. It's mostly just me helping them with like writing checks, helping them read their mail, helping them figure out which bills need to get paid on time first and which bills to sort of hold off on, but ultimately to get bills paid on time, help them budget and manage their finances, things of that sort. So my heart goes out to the elderly population and obviously people with disabilities. And most of these people are low income and they don't have any friends or family around them to help them navigate their daily lives. So I'm really looking forward to helping out in any way I can because, you know, my family, and not to like, you know, toot my own horn, but my family is very fortunate that they have me and my brothers to help with like English and, you know, translating and, you know, reading their mail and helping them pay their bills and helping them with their doctor's appointments and navigating errands and stuff. So, you know, I already am a caretaker for my own family, so I wanted to extend my help and my support and my reach to as many people as I can in my local community and just try to extend my efforts and my reach to help other people. So yeah, those are going to be the the two volunteer programs that I'll be doing soon. And although the animal shelter one, sorry, I don't know why my voice is so raspy. Let me take a sip of my coffee. And so although the animal shelter volunteer role hasn't quite worked out yet, that's okay because another life update is that I am trying to start my own pet sitting business. So funny story, I recently, very, very recently, like this past weekend, joined Rover and WAG. And if you don't know what those are, Rover and WAG are professional like pet sitting and dog walking service-based apps. So you sign up, you make a profile, they do background checks and everything. And on Rover, you'll have pet parents reach out to you first to see if you're available and try to book you to either have their dog or their cat or their pets like board at your house for you to take care of, or you can come to their house and be a pet sitter and board at their house, or they just, you know, they can do like doggy daycares or pet daycares where they just drop their pet off at your house for a day, or you can just check in for a little bit on the pets at their house, or there's like dog walking opportunities. So that's basically what Rover and WAG are. It's basically like a pet sitting service type of apps and like dog walking and stuff like that. I personally have a preference for Rover because I think I've been getting a lot more clients on Rover than WAG. I feel like WAG is very difficult to manage because you're basically the person that has to reach out to the pet parents first and you have to like request them. And I think maybe if they get so many requests, the chances of you getting a client is pretty low, where I feel like Rover, you don't have to do anything. Like you just set up your profile and you just leave it, and then you'll get pet sitters reach out to you. So you have a way higher statistical chance of getting clients on Rover than WAG. But I mean, I have both apps just to increase my chances and my odds a bit more with getting clients. But I also, excitingly enough, I was gonna film this YouTube video yesterday, but I wanted to set up my pet sitting like service business, and I set up a business Instagram account and a Facebook account for this. And so my business is going to be called Homebound Pet Care. And you know, if you want to look me up on Instagram and Facebook, that would be great. Or maybe I can like link them below in the description for you to check them out and, you know, maybe support me if you're in the central Massachusetts area. I only serve central Massachusetts because I live in a town called Leominster, Massachusetts. So I don't want to have to be traveling way out far to like Boston or like the greater Boston area, because I don't know, it's not really worth it for me, but because I don't really get paid that much But like, obviously, if anyone from Boston or the greater Boston area wants to come to me and drop their pets off to my place, like that'd be fine. But I don't think that's worth it for them either if there's other pet sitters in the city anyways. So if you're in the central Massachusetts area, I don't know what are the chances of you being from the central Massachusetts area watching this video, but if you are, it would mean the world if you can support me in any way. If you do have pets that you need me to take care of, I do all sorts of pets: dogs, cats, rabbits, I don't know, hamsters, guinea pigs, mice, rats, I don't know, any pets really. So I'm not picky. My service is for all animals. Well, maybe not all animals. I don't know if I can take care of like a big animal, like a cow or like a pig or something, or a chicken. I feel like my business is more for like house pets than farm animals. But if you want me to come stay at your farm and feed the animals and watch over them, I'm totally down with that too. I just don't think I can have them come to my place, but I can come to your farm. That'd be awesome. I love farms and I love farm animals and I love animal sanctuaries and all that stuff. So anyways, that's sort of what I've been up to lately. I think in my previous one of these videos from last month, I mentioned that I was trying to start like a fitness business, like a fitness instructor virtual studio type of business. But if I'm being honest, I feel like that sort of industry is so saturated that it's, to be quite honest, not worth it, because there's so many fitness YouTubers and fitness influencers and so many like fitness instructors in like every single town and every single area. And although I am still actively working towards more and more fitness certifications, like that's another update that I have, is I've been working more towards like, you know, my other like yoga certifications and like sort of like ballet bar certifications. That's also something I've been doing in the meantime as well, so that's been keeping me busy as well. I'm mostly just kind of doing those certification courses for fun at this point. I don't know if I'm ever really gonna do anything with them. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna like pursue my own fitness business, but if I ever wanted to just, you know, apply to work for like some type of yoga instructor position or like a bar instructor position at like my local gym or yoga studio or like bar studio or something like that in my area, then at least my certifications would make me pretty like a competitive candidate. So I could take on like another side hustle or like a side gig job of being some type of like fitness, you know, bar or yoga teacher at like a local like studio or gym. But I don't really have any plans to do that yet. So I've mostly just been, you know, taking these online certification courses for like yoga and ballet bar and fitness and stuff, just mostly for fun for me to learn more and for my own exercise regimens and stuff that I do at home. So that's another little mini update. But yeah, I decided to not pursue my virtual fitness studio business because it was just quite honestly a lot of work and I just didn't really feel like my heart was in it. And I was kind of leaving it on the back burner. I kept procrastinating on actually filming the Instagram reels and the TikToks and the YouTube videos and the YouTube shorts. I was just really procrastinating on that. And I felt like, you know, if my heart's not in it and if I'm not really that passionate about it, why am I forcing myself to do this? Like, chances are it's not really going to take off or go anywhere because the industry, like the fitness wellness industry, is so saturated, especially on social media. So I decided to just delete all of my accounts for that and start fresh with my new pet sitting business that I'm trying to set up and pick up off the ground. And I can already see that there's like benefits of this business because I'm already getting clients off of Rover. And also one of my clients that I am going to be meeting tomorrow has already followed me on my business Instagram account. So that's exciting because he was asking about it. But yeah, so those are some life updates. It's already been like almost 20 minutes. Also, I got a new camera, so I hope that the quality is a bit more crisp. I look kind of rough right now because I didn't wake up too long ago, but I'm feeling very cozy in my little like hoodie sweatshirt type of thing. It's very fuzzy. But yeah, we are in the peak of winter, the dead of winter. It's January. Well, it's been January for a while now, but I also recently got back from a trip in late December / early January. I've been posting about it on my YouTube shorts, as you can see if you've been keeping up with it. And my partner and I took a little mini trip to the White Mountains in New Hampshire. I feel like if you're a Massachusetts resident, you would know that like we usually take trips to other New England states like New Hampshire or Maine or Vermont or maybe even Rhode Island, like Newport, Rhode Island. But yeah, we tend to take little mini trips to other New England states because I feel like Massachusetts is very ugly, in my opinion. There's not much to do here, especially if you live in central Massachusetts or Boston. I'm not too crazy about Boston, but I'm not a city person, so I'm kind of biased. Anyways, so that was my long update, life updates, my long ramble. In hindsight, I should have created a separate video on that, but I think if I ever have time, I will create separate videos about these things that I've been doing with my life, my new unemployed life. But yeah, I've been keeping myself busy for sure. So let's just jump right into the monthly series. Hopefully you've been keeping up with it. I technically started this series back in May, so we're already in January, May 2025, and now we're in January 2026, which is crazy. And technically this book starts with January, but I jumped ahead to May when I first started this monthly series. So we're gonna start way back in the beginning of this book. I'm gonna take another sip of my coffee because I'm feeling a bit parched. Actually, spilled a little bit. Hopefully I didn't get anything on me. Okay, so I should have read this intro section when I first started the series back in May, but I'm just gonna read it now. So this is just like an about section. About this book. In this mindfully made almanac, each spread shares an insight into nature for the purpose of promoting connection, happiness, well-being, and a sense of belonging all year round. We encourage you to open this lovingly illustrated guide every day and unearth something enchanting about the natural world. Discover plant wisdom, lore, and facts. Learn how to connect holistically to nature through a meditation, ritual, or recipe, or simply immerse yourself in the meditative joys of gardening. Feel free to dip in and out and letting the seasons guide you through nature's rhythms and our own too. Use the ribbon with intention to pick out the season or mindful month ahead. Embrace the seasons, be empowered by nature's cycles, and reconnect to the natural world. So this book talks about well-being, eco-reflection, wisdom, growing, like gardening, foraging, plant knowledge, meditation, stargazing, recipes, visualizations, and rituals. So that was what I just read. I'm sorry if everything is backwards for you, but it is what it is. Okay. So January, time to reflect, rest, restore, and look to the year ahead with an open mind and spirit. January has been a busy month for me, that is for sure, which is why I'm filming this video so late. But better late than never. That's what I always say. Okay, let me see. I'm really hoping that this chapter isn't going to be too long because I already rambled a lot. Okay, let's see. It looks like this chapter is going to be super long, so we're in for a ride. Whew, all right, here we go. Okay. New beginnings. Most of us experience dramatic upheavals in our lives, momentous points where we suddenly embark on a completely new path. This is often unexpected and painful. For example, a divorce or losing a job, with all its attendant heartache and uprooting of possessions and routines. Alternatively, a new start may stem from an entirely positive choice. Many people make dramatic career changes by becoming self-employed or moving many miles to take on a new challenge. Such moments do create a natural opportunity to pause and think about both the past and the future. This is the time to make fresh resolutions and to take new vows. The best of intentions can easily slip, but planting a tree can establish a living reminder to help keep you on the straight and narrow. As time dims, the memory of the traumatic or challenging events that lie behind its planting, the steady growth and constant presence of the tree will serve as a constant aid memoir. That's so fitting, because I was just talking about how I quit my job and I finished working for my company back in December. And so December was kind of like this very busy like time full of frenzy because of the holidays and stuff and spending time with family and stuff. And now that we're in January, I feel like so refreshed and motivated, and I'm not even sad or worried anymore. Like, I think when I was mulling it over in my head about quitting my job, like my stable corporate job, I was super scared of the future and what that would hold. But now that we're in 2026, I'm leaving the negative energy of 2025 in the past, and I'm starting fresh with a new chapter, a new beginning. And I really like that this book sort of aligns with how I'm feeling at the moment. But I think it's a really cool idea. I would love to plant a tree somewhere. I don't have any space because I live in like a suburban small city. It's not like a town, but it's not like a big city either. It's like a small city town, if that makes sense. So it's very concrete and suburban here. So it's hard to find like places to plant trees, but I think there might be like a little place in like my backyard area, but that's not really my property though. So I don't know if I can really like just go over there and plant a tree. I don't think it belongs to anyone really, but I think it belongs to like the city or like the utility company that we use collectively here. So I don't know, I'm kind of scared, but I think that's a great idea. If you're fortunate enough to have a real backyard and your own property and acres of land, I think planting a little tree as a memento as it grows with you, like not only are you helping the earth more, but it serves as a reminder as it grows with you over time, and your future generations of kids and grandkids and great grandkids will be able to experience it as well. And I think that's a really lovely idea. So thank you, book, for such a cool idea. Inspiration. The Anishinaabe peoples from the Great Lakes revere the eastern white cedar. Its wood was whittled and bent to make the frames of their birch bark canoes. I cannot read, oh my god. And its twigs were scattered on the fire to produce a fragrant smoke. This had a symbolic purifying role, a form of spiritual deep cleanser. Choice of tree. What better way to turn over a new leaf than to mark a change by planting a white cedar? Better still, it is well suited to modern gardens. It is comparatively fast growing, yet small, normally growing to no more than 60 feet or 18 meters. Despite this, at 1,350 years, cedars that grow in southern Ontario are the oldest trees in Northeast America. In other words, it should long outlast even the most momentous change of direction, yet remain a thing of permanent beauty. Neither you nor your heirs might be there to see it reach full maturity, but it is a concrete demonstration of faith in the new turn that life has taken. I'm gonna drink some more coffee. Practicalities. Location is particularly important for such a private gesture. The tree should be planted in a secluded spot where you can retire to meditate quietly away from intrusion. Also, unlike many ceremonial trees, this is a deeply personal living monument. It is a reminder to the individual, not to the world. Thus, no public explanation in the form of a plaque is needed. In some cases, however, it is appropriate to place a small label marked with the date and initials, a cryptic marker with which to intrigue a passerby in years to come. Very cool. I think planting a tree would be a very awesome project to embark on to start. Eco-reflection, nature as restorer. Being out and about on our own can grant us the prospect of having quiet time without having to ask for it. Solo walks in the woods can help us drop into a more meditative state of connection with the land. As we soak up the seasons, we are offered the opportunity to witness a perpetual progression taking place, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth that is reflected to us endlessly in the natural world, month after month, year after year. Although we almost take this perennial pattern for granted, it is an utterly key element of life, and it reminds us that creation and recreation is the primary guiding principle on this planet. The organic matter that germinates, grows, and decays back into the earth also nourishes it. Also, I forgot to show you the illustration from the previous section that I just read. So that was what the other section was. And then this is the section that I just finished reading just now. It's very pretty. Okay. Moving on to well-being, plants for well-being. Having a living thing to care for teaches us responsibility. Yep, exactly why I decided to start my pet sitting business. Plug. If we don't water it, prune it, or expose it to light, then it may die. Taking care of the plant and appreciating how it is growing is mindful in itself. The process of looking after your plants can bring you straight into the present. Focus on the leaves, study the stems and veins, and watch how they spread across the plant. Spray the plant, wipe down the leaves, nurture it, love it. The plant will be stronger, and the process will create a quiet, positive space in which to de-stress. Looking after plants is not as straightforward as it may seem. It takes time to know whether to water too much or too little, whether it will wilt or flourish near a heat source, and what level of light will suit it best. It's a skill that will be expressed in life itself. Seeing a plant you've tended put out new leaves is a message from another living thing that you've paid attention. Seeing a plant you've tended put out new leaves is a message from another living thing that you've paid attention. Spending a little time on plants can go a long way for well-being in the home. Even if you live in a city center flat with a tiny balcony, you could plant tomatoes in the spring, herbs for year-round culinary use, or colorful flowers in pots to add interest to the space. If there is no outdoor space, you could use window boxes to grow and nurture plants and flowers. You can plant for the seasons, letting your flowers and herbs show you how time goes on. Whatever your planting space, different seasons call for different kinds of cultivation, so it's a call to be in touch with the changes in weather and daylight. Each week, you can plan a set time to take care of your plants, being alert to their changing needs. Whilst you're about it, if you have an outdoor space, you can incorporate planting that welcomes wildlife, connecting you even more with nature. The best herb varieties to encourage bees and butterflies are lavender, rosemary, thyme, and sage. All hardy plants, low maintenance, and easy to keep, whether in pots or in the ground. That's really cool. I also have another book that's very similar to this that I bought at a botanical garden gift shop. And it's all about how to nurture a garden that encourages more wildlife to come to it, like a lot of, bees and butterflies, maybe even frogs, little critters here and there. So, if I ever, once I finish the series, I can maybe start chipping away and reading from that book and making that into a YouTube series, or not, or I could just read it for my own enjoyment. I don't know. But yeah, I like the idea of not only nurturing a garden or a front lawn just because it looks good for your house, or like for the aesthetics, but nurturing a garden because it's good for your mental health and to hopefully bring more wildlife into the area and encourage more wildlife like bees and butterflies to pollinate and things like that. So yeah, so that was the section that I just read. Okay, so this next part is my favorite, and it's a stargazing section. And the title is Bootes. It's Bootes, and it's a Greek word for plowman or herdsman. Plowman or herdsman. I'm terrible at reading, obviously. But that's Bootes. That's the title. The correct pronunciation for Bootes is Bootes? I don't know. It's, so there's like lowercase bo dash, uppercase oh dash, lowercase tees. Bootes. With the stress on the second syllable. The brightest star in the constellation is Arcturus, which is also the fourth brightest star in the night sky. In the 1790s, the French astronomer Jerome Lalande stole a few stars from Bootes to create a new constellation, Quadrans Miralis, or the Quadrant, named in recognition of his observatory's excellent equipment. However, Quadrans Miralis fell out of favor by the end of the 19th century, and Bootes was returned to its original form. The name lives on, however, in the title of the early January quadrantid meteor shower. This constellation is home to the Bootes Void. Cosmic voids are vast spaces between galaxies on the largest scale. The Bootes Void, which was discovered in 1981 as part of a survey of galaxy distances, is approximately 700 million light years away and about 330 million light years in diameter. It's one of the largest known voids in the universe. If you were in a spaceship at the center of the void, you would see no stars in the sky with the naked eye. Wow. Very, very interesting. Yeah, space voids, cosmic voids, spaces between galaxies is so interesting, because when you're in space, you think that like there's always stars or like other planets and other like galaxies and celestial bodies. But yeah, no, I guess, oh God, I would love to be in space. That just seems so mind-boggling, because down here on Earth, you just see the night sky and you see a bunch of stars. Celestial events. January quadrantance is January 3rd, originating from same parent object of minor planet 2003 EH1 in comet C-1490Y1. Not sure what any of that means. And then the June Boötes, June 8th to the 29th, originating from comet 7P-Pons-Winnecke. So those are the celestial events. Deep sky objects, the NGC 5466 globular cluster. So that's cool. I would love to learn more about astronomy, because I feel like I could read these and actually understand. But I mean, the stuff that I was reading in the celestial events section, I mean, obviously I think those are just like names of like the celestial objects that you can see in the sky. Very interesting names. Wait, did I show you this? That's the illustration for the stargazing section. Let's see. I mean, there's a lot of sections in this chapter, but they're all like relatively very short. So I think if I read fast enough, then Yeah, okay. So that was the stargazing section. And then the next section is an eco reflection, and it's called Watch the Birds Move. High up above, over rooftops and high rises, down railway tracks, across grassy glades and the canopies of trees, the birds move. Their choreography at odds with the pace on the streets below. Our frantic human jazz. We can easily spot them, ascending the sky as if it possessed a steep roller coaster, soaring in swift flight, or simply drifting. Fleeing in cloudbursts, straggly lines, alone or in pairs, the city's birds move with grace, at complete ease with the air. Watch as they move with the breath of the earth, maneuvering to the breeze, employing its force. Starlings migrate at night when the air is calm and cool. Raptors seize on the currents rising up the sides of tall buildings to reach higher altitudes. Skeins of geese position wingtips in precisely the place to catch an upward gust, mastering aerodynamics to conserve energy in flight. Very cool. Nature is just so smart and cool, and just mastering aerodynamics. I love that. Okay, ooh, this is a beautiful illustration. The next section is a wisdom about foxes. Foxes have lived amongst us for centuries, and they're celebrated in our folklore and myths, but whether the story is being told by the Greeks, Japanese, Celts, Native Americans, Disney, or Roald Dahl, the fox is either portrayed as cunning, slippery, and devious, or more favorably as intelligent, adaptable, and resourceful. When the modern world transformed the fox's wild woods into avenues and office blocks, the fox, like any shrewd opportunist, saw a new world where the waste bins overflowed and the Saturday night streets were paved with castaway fast food. It is incredible to believe that in our towns and cities, these wild dogs live almost invisibly alongside us. If you're lucky, you may see this relative of the wolf, dingo, jackal, and coyote casually sauntering across your street, bringing a touch of the Serengeti to suburbia. In January, foxes are at their most vocal. The spine-chilling scream of the vixen can sound like something from a horror film. This foxy lady is only fertile for a few days, and her cry advertises her availability, sparking bow wows, barks, and bickering from amorous dog foxes. So now the festive season is over. If you've had enough of plastic snowmen and fake trees, take a short walk away from it all and step out into the darkness of the new year. Listen for your local foxes howling at the moon, the sound of survival. Let it stir something wild in your heart. I think there was a fox. So that's the illustration of the section. That's so beautiful. It's gorgeous. I think there was a fox in my neighborhood growing up, coincidentally. So I haven't seen a fox in quite a while, sadly, but I hope they're doing well. I hope they're thriving somewhere in nature. Okay, so the next section is another eco-reflection called You Are a Part of the Nature You Walk Through. Regular walkers are privileged in enjoying a view of the world denied to many people. Walking mindfully, we naturally learn to adjust our thinking about who we are as we stroll across our own small portion of the planet's surface, down country lanes, through city streets, or out into the wild. We begin to recognize our links with nature, how we fit into the web of life that surrounds us. We who walk upright, looking about us, appreciating beauty with thoughts full of questions, are as much products of the ecosystem as are the trees, bugs, butterflies, or birds. It has taken humankind a long time to understand this. You are a part of the nature you walk through. That is very true. I think humans have a tendency to forget that we are nature. We're not we are part of nature, but we are nature in of itself. And I think us sort of, tucking ourselves away, hiding ourselves away in the comfort of being indoors in our houses, in our apartments, wherever, us playing video games or being on social media or watching streaming services or whatever, like, makes us forget that we are nature. Like, we are made of the same stuff that stardust is made of. Like, when we die, we decompose right back into the earth. We are nature. And I think that this section is such a beautiful reminder that when you're walking through nature and you're taking a little like nature hike or nature walk, just remember that you are also part of it all. You're part of the ecosystem. So I think that's a lovely little reminder. This next section is a wisdom called Trees at Night. In the night, we only see the silhouettes of trees with beautiful highlights from the moon and the stars. They have the most amazing shapes, especially in the winter, when the branches are without leaves. Did you know trees sleep at night? Finnish researchers found that trees relax their branches in the evening, which they saw as a sign of snoozing. The researchers observed the branches and leaves of silver birches, which sagged as much as 10 centimeters or 4 inches at night. They perked up again just before sunrise. The researchers concluded that because the branches lift up before the sun was up, the trees relied on their own internal circadian rhythm. Take a look. Take an evening stroll and keep an eye out for the night trees. Look for a tree that speaks to you specifically. Are the leaves closed for the night? Do you see the branches sagging a little? That's so cool. Trees also sleep. That's really, really cool. Beautiful illustration. Okay, we're almost finished. There's only 2 more sections left of this chapter. So this is a section all about growing eucalyptus. There are around 300 species of eucalyptus, and this species is a very tall tree, able to reach heights of up to 100 meters or 300 feet at full spread. It has pale bark, which tends to peel away, and the wood is aromatic. The leaves are very pungent, usually slightly darker on the upper surface and pale beneath. They contain sacs filled with volatile oil. The flowers are whitish, followed by round berries. Eucalyptus trees prefer hot climates, but can be planted in temperate gardens provided the temperature does not fall below -5 Celsius or 23 degrees Fahrenheit. They require well-drained soil and full sun. They will outcompete other plants and trees for water because they are experts at survival in their harsh native environment, the outback of Australia. In North America and Southern Europe, they have been deliberately planted in marshy areas to reclaim land and reduce the mosquito population. Eucalyptus essential oil has been produced on a large commercial scale since the 19th century. It is commonly used in the pharmaceutical industry to make cold and cough remedies and ointments for muscular aches. So part of the plant that is used are leaves. The active ingredients are volatile oil, commercially available as essential oil, cough medicine, lozenges, massage balm, ointment, actions. It's antiseptic, expectorant, vulnerary. It's used to treat cuts, grazes, wounds. Infusion of fresh leaves can be used to cleanse and disinfect affected areas. Ointment can be applied as directed to speed healing. Sinusitis, colds. Add 2 drops of essential oil to a bowl of boiling water and inhale the vapor for 10 minutes to improve breathing. Lozenges taken as directed also ease airways. Coughs. 2 drops of essential oil added to 1 teaspoon of sunflower oil massaged twice daily into the chest eases coughs. Cough medicine can be taken as directed. Muscular aches and pains. 4 drops of essential oil added to 2 teaspoons of sunflower oil massaged into affected areas twice daily eases pain and stiffness and improves movement. Massage balm can be used as directed. It does not have any culinary use, though. Some safety information: infusion of fresh leaves or the essential oil should not be used on sensitive skin. Eucalyptus is also toxic to animals. So that is that. And then, alas, we have come to the final section of this January chapter in this book. And this is a well-being section called The Sun on Your Back. There are still people alive today who can say, when we were young, we looked at the sky to tell the time. The position of the stars at night or of the sun casting its shadows by day was enough to fix the hour. Urban living, digital timepieces, watches, and clocks have dulled this natural ability. We have become tied to the concept of precise time for work, train, and newscast. We have forgotten the sun. Those of us who live in a temperate climate where clouds and rain are frequent are inclined to make comment with surprise and pleasure on a transitory burst of sunshine. The impermanent state of the weather is, for us, the norm, and we have become accustomed to its changing patterns even over the period of an afternoon's walk. So the sun breaking through clouds, warming our backs, can feel like a blessing and a gift, and we immediately feel grateful. So that was the last section. This is the illustration. Very pretty. And yeah, so the next section is for February, which I'll be reading next month. But let me just go through and see if I missed anything. I don't think I did, but you never know. Okay, so yeah, no, I think that was it. So that was the January section of this Nature Almanac book. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm kind of rushing a bit because I don't want this video to be too long, because I did give a ramble life update in the beginning. But next up, I'm just gonna be reading a little section from this book just to end the video. So the section that I'll be reading from is called Looking at Lifestyle, and this is like a more mental health type of book, and the other one is more of like a nature type of book, if that makes sense. Looking at lifestyle. Most people facing mental health issues can benefit from the support of some form of therapy, and creating a safe space to discuss problems and work through issues with another trusted person can be vital, as well as knowing when to seek help. Lifestyle changes that we can make on our own can be powerfully therapeutic for our mental and emotional well-being. Optimizing mental wellness. Making lifestyle changes and sticking to them brings physical and emotional benefits and a sense of control and accomplishment. A lot of small actions taken together can significantly improve symptoms of anxiety, depression, self-worth, and self-confidence. Many of these lifestyle activities are also effective ways of managing stress. Exercise has measurable effects on well-being. Regular exercise can have a profoundly positive impact on stress, depression, anxiety, and conditions such as post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. If something supports heart health, it is generally good for mental wellness, as it strengthens blood vessels, improving circulation and oxygenation to the brain and central nervous system. Those who exercise regularly report a tremendous sense of well-being, more energy, improved sleep and memory, and a more positive outlook. Eating whole foods maximizes brain health. Leafy green vegetables, fruit, legumes, whole grains, lean meats, and seafood provide key nutrients such as folate, zinc, magnesium, and essential fatty acids and antioxidants, all necessary for optimal brain function. As well as choosing the right foods, a healthy diet is also about balance. The occasional cup of coffee can give us an energy boost, and drinking alcohol in controlled moderation can relax us and help us socialize. In excess, though, these can be harmful. Sleep is as key to mental and emotional health as regular activity. It allows the body to rest, digest food, and repair itself. Good sleep habits, adjusting light and temperature in bedrooms, having a regular bedtime, and reducing screen time before bed give the body and mind recovery time. Getting out of artificial environments and spending time in a green space such as a local park, the countryside, or by the ocean de-stresses and connects us with the real world. It exposes our senses to new sights and sounds and our bodies to beneficial sunshine. Sunlight synthesizes vitamin D in the body, which helps regulate sleep-wake cycles. Cultivating healthy relationships boosts well-being. Positive relationships provide strength and support. Those who are socially connected to family, friends, or their community tend to be happier, healthier, and live longer. They also tend to experience fewer mental health problems than those who are less well-connected. It is not just about how many people you know. The quality and depth of relationships matter too. Regular hobbies and activities benefit mental health, whether interests are athletic, creative, or intellectual. Spending time doing something we enjoy improves well-being. Those with hobbies are less likely to experience stress, low mood, and depression. Group activities such as team sports also improve social skills and confidence. Cultivating spirituality, in whatever form is meaningful to us, can give insight, hope, and peace of mind. It can also help us cope with stress, to accept and live with ongoing problems, and find strength to make changes. Exploring spirituality can also encourage altruism and a sense of service to the wider community, which has been shown to encourage a greater sense of self-worth. What to avoid? Unhealthy lifestyle choices can be hugely detrimental to mental wellness and physical health. Part of embracing a healthy lifestyle is knowing what to avoid. A sedentary lifestyle that doesn't stimulate circulation and stiffens our bodies, and insufficient sleep make us sluggish and below par mentally and physically. In addition, refined processed foods high in salt and sugar, drinking more than advised levels of alcohol, smoking, and using recreational drugs impact our emotional balance and brain function. So activity and exercise keep us physically well and profoundly impact our mental well-being. A series of small lifestyle changes can significantly improve well-being. So that was the lifestyle section of this mental health book that I just read. And yeah, so that is it. That we've come to the end of this video. Again, I really hope that the camera quality is a bit better because it's a new camera, so I'm hoping it'll be more crisp. But other than that, thank you so much for watching and for being here. And just whether or not you interact with my channel, that's totally fine, but just, thank you for being here and for watching this video or any videos on my channel. It really means a lot to me. And I hope you have a great rest of your morning, noon, afternoon, evening, or nighttime, whenever it is you're watching this. And I will see you all in the next video for my February Nature Almanac monthly series. So I know I filmed January pretty late, but again, better late than never. Hopefully I'll get this uploaded on my channel very soon. But bye. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day or night.